This is the story of Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, in a cozy little cottage near the edge of the woods, there lived a sweet girl known to everyone as Little Red Riding Hood. Her name came from the beautiful red cloak with a hood that her grandmother had made for her. One sunny morning, Little Red Riding Hood's mother called her into the kitchen. The air was filled with the delicious aroma of freshly baked goods.
Sweetie, your grandmother is feeling ill. I have packed some bread, butter and honey in this basket. Please take it to her cottage in the woods and stay on the path. Do not talk to strangers.
Little Red Riding Hood nodded eagerly, took the basket, and kissed her mother goodbye. She set off down the path, leading to her grandmother's house, humming a cheerful tune. As she walked, Little Red Riding Hood marveled at the sights and sounds of the forest. Birds chirped merrily, and a gentle breeze rustled the leaves. She picked flowers along the way, delighted by their colors and fragrances. The path was winding and beautiful, flanked by tall trees and vibrant wildflowers. Suddenly, from behind a tree appeared a cunning wolf. He had been watching Little Red Riding Hood and saw an opportunity.
Good morning, Little Red Riding Hood. Where are you off to on this fine day?
Little Red Riding Hood, forgetting her mother's warning, replied innocently.
Good morning, Mr. Wolf. I'm going to my grandmother's house to bring her some treats. She lives just beyond the forest.
The wolf's eyes gleamed with a sly idea. He knew the quickest route to Grandma's house and devised a plan to get there first.
How lovely! Why not pick some flowers for your grandmother? I'm sure she'd love that.
She picked the brightest and most beautiful flowers she could find, losing track of time as she moved deeper into the forest. Little Red Riding Hood thought this was a wonderful idea and wandered off the path to gather a bouquet of wildflowers. Meanwhile, the wolf darted down the shortcut to Grandma's cottage. He was quick and stealthy, moving through the forest with ease. When the wolf arrived at the quaint little cottage, he knocked on the door and imitated Little Red Riding Hood's voice.
Grandmother, it's me, Little Red Riding Hood. I've brought you some treats.
Grandma, feeling weak, called from her bed.
Lift the latch and come in, dear.
The wolf entered, pounced on Grandma, and quickly hid her in the closet. He then dressed in her nightgown and cap, climbed into her bed and wore a mask to cover his chin, awaiting Little Red Riding Hood's arrival. Shortly after, Little Red Riding Hood approached the cottage, her arms full of flowers and the basket swinging by her side. She knocked on the door lightly.
Grandmother, it's me, Little Red.
Come in, dear.
Little Red Riding Hood entered the dimly lit room and approached the bed. She noticed something strange about her grandmother's appearance.
Oh, Grandmother, what big ears you have.
The better to hear you with, my dear.
And Grandmother, what big eyes you have.
The better to see you with, my dear.
But Grandmother, what big hands you have.
The better to hug you with, my dear.
Oh, Grandmother, what big teeth you have.
The better to eat you with.
Just as the wolf was about to pounce on Little Red Riding Hood, a woodsman who had been passing by heard the commotion.
Help me! Please save me!
He burst through the door with his axe raised high.
Stop right there, you wicked wolf.
Please don't kill me. I didn't do anything.
The wolf, startled and frightened, tried to flee, but the woodsman was too quick. He caught the wolf and tied him up, rescuing Grandma from the closet.
You saved me. Thank you.
Grandma, Little Red Riding Hood, and the woodsman were all safe. Grandma hugged Little Red Riding Hood tightly, and they all thanked the brave woodsman for his timely intervention. The next day, Little Red Riding Hood returned home with the woodsman. Her mother was overjoyed to see her safe and sound. They thanked the woodsman once again, and Little Red Riding Hood promised never to stray from the path or talk to strangers.
Thank you for saving my life, I promise. I will never to stray from the path or talk to strangers.
And so, Little Red Riding Hood, her grandmother, and the kind woodsman lived happily ever after, with the memory of that adventurous day serving as a reminder to always stay safe and wise.
Thanks for watching. We have more fun adventures coming up, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out.